Hello, my name is Renee Parker, and I'm an Emerald Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide. I wanted to take a few minutes today and share with you some key tips on how to talk to people when they ask you what you do for a living. So take just a moment to get it all pulled up here. All right, so what do you do for a living? How to answer that question, Big Al style. Those of you who know me, you know that I do a lot of training with Big Al. He's one of my main mentors, and I love his information. He gives you key advice on how to speak to people and put it into play right off the bat as soon as you learn it. So we're going to go over a few of those things today. Many people kind of stumble or they seem a little bit confused whenever someone says, well, what do you do for a living? And it can be difficult. It's not as easy as saying, I'm a doctor, I'm a teacher, I'm a lawyer. You know, those things that people know what those people do. But when you say I'm in network marketing, a lot of people don't understand what that means. So we're going to talk about how you can tell people what you do and get them a little bit more intrigued. So the key word to use is I show people. We have several examples here on what you can say after you say the words, I show people. So if someone says, hey, Renee, what do you do for a living? I can simply say, I show people. How we can stay at home with our kids and still get a full-time paycheck. Wow. If I said that to a mom who was working 60 or 70 hours a week and who has 2 or 3 small children at home, do you think she might be a little bit interested in what I do? I show people how we can get a $100 refund every month. I show people how secretaries can earn more money part-time than their bosses make full-time. I show people how we can wake up an hour earlier every morning and feel like $1 million and fall asleep within 7 minutes of our head hitting the pillow every night. What? Do you show people how to have more energy during the day and sleep better at night? Tell me more, right? I show people how we can feel. I'm just kind of skipping around here. I show people how we can retire 5 years early with full-time pay. So if you're talking to someone that's looking at retiring soon, they may be interested in how you show people. So by using the words, I show people, and then kind of picking out what would work best for you in that situation and following up with one of these sentences or maybe something that you come up with that fits your situation better, you're going to have people ask you to give you more information, right? Another thing that you can say is, well, you know how, and then you introduce the problem, and then you say, well, what I do is, and then you introduce the solution. So an example of that is, well, you know how some people don't have as much energy as they used to? Well, what I do is I market a product that helps people feel like they're 16 again, but with better judgment. Do you know someone who might be interested in that product? So you're answering a question about what you do. You're not giving it a title, but you're actually giving an action about what you do. And then you can follow it up with a question of, do you know someone who may benefit or who may be interested? Well, so someone says, hey, Renee, what do you do? Well, you know how some people have problems with too much money, too much month for the money? Well, what I do is I show people how to get an extra paycheck in their mailbox every month. Do you know someone who'd be interested in learning more about this? So you're asking for referrals after you tell people a little bit about what you do. Hey, Renee, what do you do for a living? Well, you know how some people have tried to generate extra income from home and it just hasn't worked out for them? Well, what I do is offer free training and coaching to help them reach their financial goals. Do you know anyone who'd be interested in learning more about this? Hey, Renee, what do you do for a living? Well, you know how some people are always having to monitor their blood sugar levels? Well, what I do is I market a product that helps them lower blood sugar levels without medication. Do you know anyone who might like to have more information? Do you see how that works? You're not scared, you're not confused. You're able to answer the question and tell people exactly what you do and turn it around and ask for a referral. So you're introducing the problem that we can have a solution for, and then you're telling them how you provide that solution, and then you ask for a referral. Now, after you establish a relationship with someone, you can actually ask them this question. What are 2 of the biggest health concerns or financial challenges in your life? So whatever, they say, you can say the following. Would you like to do something about that? Or have you ever thought about doing something about that? You can immediately go into an icebreaker and say, I show people how to, just like we talked about earlier. We'll go back to that. I show people how you can get an extra paycheck every month. I show people how we can stay at home with our kids and get a full-time paycheck. I show people how we can fire the boss and start our own business. So again, after you establish that relationship with someone, you can ask the question, what are your 2 biggest health concerns or financial challenges? So whatever it is that they say, because they're going to say something, and they say, every morning when I get up and my feet hit the floor, my feet hurt so bad, I can barely get out of bed. Then you say, well, would you like to do something about that? Have you ever thought about doing something about that? What do you think that they're going to say? Well, yeah, I would love to do something about that. And then you provide them your solution. Well, I show people how to, and then you go into whatever the case may be, okay? So here's a tip. Every day, you probably hear somebody complaining about their health or finances. I hear it all the time. I can be standing in line at the grocery store and I hear people complaining. Just simply ask the people, open your ears, and when you hear it happening, simply ask the people, well, would you like to do something about that? If they say no to your question, then they're not a prospect. So forget about them, move on. It's not a big deal. If they say yes, they just gave you permission to provide them some information, okay? So by asking them, would you like to do something about that? When they say yes, they have given you permission to provide them with information. That information may be a presentation, it may be a website, a business card, or maybe an appointment for coffee so you can sit across the table and share with them more information. So just think about that. That's the biggest tip, is whenever you ask someone a question and they say yes to the questions that we talked about, they're giving you permission. They're almost begging you for them to have a presentation given. So that's just something to think about today. I hope that using this verbiage and kind of scripting somewhat, don't try to memorize it all, but definitely just get comfortable with it, so that way whenever you're talking to people, you know the key words to say. I show people. Have you ever thought about doing something about that? Things like that. That's going to be key to asking people permission to provide them information without just giving them information without them asking for it, okay? And you're going to have a lot more success when people are asking you or giving you the permission to provide them that information. So I hope that this helps. I'm excited for you to start using it. Please send me a message and let me know as you use it in your daily life about the success that you have. That's it for today. Thanks, guys.